Sam Altman is sounding the alarm on his own models, saying AI-enabled cyberattacks and bioweapons are no longer theoretical, and publishing a blueprint for how to rebuild the social contract before superintelligence gets here. Google is quietly building the next version of Jules under a new internal name with a completely different idea of what a coding agent should actually do. And Meta is confirming it's sticking with open source. Kind of. New models are coming, but the biggest ones are staying close. So let's get into it. Sam Altman just published a 13-page policy document telling the US government it needs to completely rethink how society works. And the reason he gives for the why is the part worth paying attention to. He told Axios that AI being used by terrorist groups to engineer novel pathogens is no longer a theoretical thing. That a major AI-enabled cyber attack within the next year is totally possible. That's the CEO of OpenAI, the guy building the models, and he's not saying this to a Senate committee under oath, he's saying it voluntarily in a press interview alongside a policy wish list he wrote himself. The document is called Industrial Policy for the Intelligence Age, and the framing Altman uses is pretty deliberate. He compares what's coming to the progressive era in the early 1900s and the New Deal during the Great Depression. The argument is that every major technological shift in history required the social contract to be written around it. Electricity, the combustion engine, mass production, each one broke existing institutions before the new ones caught up. Altman's position is that AI is moving fast enough that we need to start rewriting now, not after the disruption is already visible. So what does he actually propose? A public wealth fund that gives every American a direct stake in AI-driven economic growth. Seeded partly by AI companies themselves, it would invest in diversified assets across both AI firms and the broader economy. The idea being that if AI is going to concentrate wealth, you build a mechanism to distribute it before that concentration locks in. Number 2, robot taxes. As AI hollows out wage-based labor, the tax base that funds Social Security, Medicaid, and SNAP shrinks with it. The document flows shifting revenue toward capital gains and corporate income and explicitly mentions taxes and automated labor. A 4-day work week. The logic is that if AI drives efficiency gains at the company level, some of that should convert into time back for workers. OpenAI is suggesting companies and unions pilot 32-hour weeks at full pay. And then the one that stands out the most, containment playbooks for AI systems that can no longer be controlled. The document actually acknowledges scenarios where dangerous AI has already been released and can't be recalled because the model weights are public or because the system is autonomous enough to replicate itself. The answer is coordinated government response, which is a remarkable thing for an AI company to put in writing. Here's where it gets interesting. Axios was pretty direct about the dual nature of this document. OpenAI is a company racing to build the very technology Altman is warning about. Publishing a policy blueprint positions them as a responsible actor in the room, the company that warned you and came with solutions. Axios note, that's the lane Anthropic has occupied for a while, and is also a play to shape regulation before regulation shapes them. Altman acknowledged this tension directly. When asked why people should trust him, he said almost everybody in the industry feels the gravity of what they're doing, that no one person should be making these decisions alone, and that they feel that responsibility every day. Which is true, and it's also true that OpenAI just closed a $110 billion funding round, is preparing for an IPO, is simultaneously under scrutiny over its conversion from a nonprofit. The incentives and the stated concerns can both be real at the same time. The admission itself is the story. The person with the most visibility into where these models are heading is publicly saying the pace is fast enough that you need to redesign the social contract before the disruption hits, not after. Whether you take that at face value or read it as strategy or both, the underlying signal doesn't change. The models are getting powerful enough that even the people building them are trying to get ahead of the fallout. That alone is worth sitting with. Before we continue, we just launched the Universe of AI newsletter. If you want to stay on top of AI news without having to hunt for it, link is in the description. Don't miss out. Google's Jules coding agent has been pretty quiet lately. Not a lot of updates, not much visible progress, but it turns out that's because they've been working on something entirely different behind the scenes. According to a report from Testing Catalog, Google has a next-gen version of Jules in development internally called Jitro, and the way it's being framed is not just an upgrade, it's a different approach to what a coding agent is supposed to do. So right now, Jules works the way basically every coding agent works. You tell it what to do, it does it. You write a prompt, you define the task, the agent executes. That's how Copilot works, that's how Cursor works, and that's how OpenAI's Codex agent also works. You are still the one driving. Jitro is apparently trying to change that. Instead of prompt and execute, it's being built around what the article describes as KPI-driven development. The idea is that instead of telling the agent to fix this bug or add this feature, you set a higher level goal, something like improve test coverage or reduce page load time, and the agent figures out what actually needs to change in the codebase to move that metric. There's already a list of tools being built into it, things like listing goals in a workspace, creating specific actionable tasks, tracking insights, pulling update history, connecting to external integrations via MCP servers. The whole workspace framing is also interesting too, because it suggests Google is thinking of Jitro as something persistent, not a one-shot tool you call in when you need something done, but more of a background collaborator that's always aware of where the code bases stand relative to the goals you've set. The timing is also worth noting. Google I/O is May 19th, and historically, that's exactly when Google rolls out its biggest product moves under the Gemini umbrella. They've been pushing AI tools into Google AI Studio, Firebase, Claude. A goal-oriented coding agent will fit right into that story, especially for enterprise teams. That said, none of the UI exists publicly yet. What we're working from is internal tooling references and the waitlist messaging, which reads, "Manually prompting your agents is so 2025. The Jules team has been working on something new for 2026. So there's a range of how this could actually land. On one end is genuinely autonomous goal-pursuing development, which could be a meaningful step beyond anything that's shipped so far. On the other hand, it's a reframing of task management with some extra intelligence layered on. The honest answer is we don't know yet. What's clear is the direction Google is signaling. The prompt and execute model is being treated like the old way of doing things, and whether Jitro ships at I/O or later, the concept itself is where the whole space is heading. Every major player is trying to figure out how to get agents to take on broader ownership of outcomes, not just individual tasks. The tricky part is trust. An agent that autonomously decides what to change in your codebase to hit a target is useful in theory. In practice, engineering teams are going to want to understand exactly what it's doing and why. That's the barrier no one has fully figured out yet. We'll see what Google actually shows at I/O, but Jitro is one to keep an eye on between now and then. There's been a question hanging over Meta's AI strategy for a while now. Are they going to keep open sourcing their models or quietly walk that back? Axios just answered it, sort of. According to Axios, Meta is preparing to release the first new AI model developed under Alexandr Wang, the Scale AI founder who joined Meta last year as part of a $15 billion deal, and the plan is to offer versions of those models via open source license. So they're not walking it back, but there's a catch. Wang has indicated that some of Meta's largest new models will stay proprietary, so what you're getting is a hybrid strategy. Open source on some, closed on others. The biggest and most capable models stay in-house. The reasoning behind the open source piece is pretty consistent with how Wang has talked about this publicly. He sees Anthropic and OpenAI as increasingly focused on governments and enterprises. Meta's play is consumers, wide distribution, global scale, models embedded directly into WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. Free services that competitors genuinely can't replicate. That's the moat Meta is leaning on. On the model quality side, Meta is aware that these new models may not be competitive across the board with what OpenAI and Anthropic are about to drop. Both of those labs are hinting their next releases are significant steps forward. Meta's bet is that it doesn't need to win every benchmark, it needs area of strength that appeals to consumers and distribution that nobody else can match. Worth noting that this hybrid move isn't unique to Meta. Alibaba recently kept its most powerful Qwen models proprietary after years of open sourcing everything. The pattern across the industry is the same. Champion openness at the lower tiers, close off the frontier. Even the companies most associated with open source are drawing lines around their most capable system. Axios put it well. Meta's approach looks like a hedge, open enough to win developer mindshare and shape the ecosystem, close where the biggest models actually convert an edge. That's not a step back from open source, it's just a more calculated version of it. But that's it for today's video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, Follow our new newsletter as well at universeofai.beehive.com, as well as subscribe to the main channel World of AI, and support us on X by following the Universe of AIZ as well. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.